Hello and welcome, my name is Kirsten, and in this video I'm sharing 7 postpartum weight loss tips. These are the things that have helped me lose weight after having a baby. Some quick stats before we jump in. I'm 5'7". Before I got pregnant I weighed 140 pounds, and throughout pregnancy I got up to 185 pounds, so I gained 45 pounds, and currently I am at 146. I'm very close to getting back down to my pre-pregnancy weight. Tip number 1 is to stop buying processed or pre-packaged foods. So this is things like chips, crackers, cookies, candy, and especially like the diet marketed packaged stuff, you know, the 100-calorie packs or whatever. Eating those ones specifically are not going to satiate your hunger. They're just full of processed junk that you don't need. I found that when I get hungry for a snack, if I have the stuff like pretzels and crackers and chips and stuff in my house, that's what I'm gonna go to because that stuff is delicious and tempting. But if I don't have that because I've chosen not to buy it, then I'm going to snack on the things I actually have in the house. So fruits and veggies and yogurt and like whole food snacks. When you're trying to lose weight, the majority of where this is gonna come from is from what you're eating. When you make that change and adjust your diet for weight loss, that's where you're really gonna see the results rather than just focusing on exercise, which is important and I'll get to that, but it's not the biggest piece of the pie when it comes to losing weight. So while I don't buy these things, I do find that they just sort of present themselves anyway. So it's not that I never eat those yummy snacky items whatsoever, but I will have them, whether it's going to somebody's house and they have something, or at work somebody's brought something in. There's always those options. So I found that I can still have those little treats, but if I don't keep them in the house, then I'm much more likely to just opt for the healthier option on a daily basis. Tip number 2 is to track what you're eating in a fitness app or some sort of food tracker. I like to use MyFitnessPal, and this is because for me, and I know this from losing weight in the past, I do not stay accountable and I don't stay on track unless I have something showing me exactly where I'm at as far as my calories go. Now I do try to hit a specific calorie goal every day. My husband set that for me. He has his personal training certification. I do try to hit this calorie goal on a daily basis. I will say it's not perfect, but when I know that everything is accounted for and at the end of the day I can see if I've hit that goal or not, it really is motivating for me to make a conscious effort to stay on track and really think about if I really want to eat something or if it just sounds good in the moment, and then I'll be like, that wasn't really worth it after it's gone. It's really easy to think that you're eating healthy, and you might be, but it just might be that your portions are off. So easy to grab a handful of almonds, for example, and think, wow, go me, fantastic, this is a healthy snack, when really that handful of almonds is 300 calories and you have no idea unless you're actually tracking it. I know that tracking calories is not for everybody, and that's totally okay, but I have found that that is the best way to keep me accountable and keep me on track with what I'm eating. And without fail, this is when I always see results if I'm trying to lose weight. The next thing that has helped me lose the baby weight, which is a pretty obvious one, is exercising. I have a routine going where I exercise 5 days a week and my workouts are 30 minutes long. I'm not somebody that is down to spend like an hour working out or even driving to the gym or something, which you can't do anyway right now because of COVID. But I have been working out at home for quite a while now. We have turned our garage into a little home workout area. I just stream workout videos. We do use Beachbody on demand, and my favorite program on there is probably P90X3 because it's 30 minutes long. And then my all-time favorite workout program ever, shout out to Jillian Michaels and the 30-Day Shred. This is an older program, but it is my favorite. When I got into routinely exercising, this is the first thing I did, and it kicked my butt into shape. The whole workout, start to finish, is 30 minutes long. That includes warm-up and cool-down. And I just really like the structure of the workouts and how long you're doing each move. It's really a mental game working out, I'm sure you guys know, and I'm able to like mentally push through this one easily because of the way that it's structured, and I really like that. So if you're looking for a program, I definitely recommend the Jillian Michaels 30-Day Shred, but really you could do any workout program that you want as long as you're doing it consistently. I think 4 to 5 days is a really good goal to aim for, and for at least 30 minutes. The biggest change that I made to actually stick with this routine and make it consistent is that I work out early in the morning. I know. I used to never be a person that wanted to do that or wake up early or work out right away when I'm kind of sleepy, but let me tell you, changing this made it really, really easy. Well, I wouldn't say easy, but it made it so I was able to stick with it and create a habit. I wake up at 5:15 every morning and I work out before my baby wakes up. And that way I know that I've had my me time, I've gotten it done, done. Nothing in the day can throw me off. I don't have to worry about going to work and then coming back and then working out again later, because nobody really wants to do that after you're tired after a work day. You'll feel so accomplished if you get this done first thing in the morning, and you get that boost of energy from working out. Next up, aim for walking at least 10,000 steps a day. This is something I've implemented really recently, and I've already noticed a difference in how quickly my weight is dropping compared to when I wasn't putting a focus on getting 10,000 steps a day. I use a Fitbit, but you can use your iPhone, and there's various apps you can get that are going to track your steps. Again, this is one of those things where I like having a number and a target, and I like being able to look at an app or whatever and see the progress that I've made on that. This just helps me like tick off another thing that I've achieved for the day, and that keeps me motivated, keeps me going and working towards that goal. A really great way to do this if you are a new mom is to just take your baby on a walk in the stroller or in a baby carrier if they're really little, and that way you guys are getting outside, you're getting some exercise, and it gives a little activity that you can throw into the day. And it doesn't have to necessarily be 10,000 steps. As long as you increase activity from what you're doing now, that is going to make a difference. But I think that we hear 10,000 steps recommended so much because you can usually burn a couple hundred more calories by adding that amount of steps or a movement into your day, and over time that really helps make a dent in your weight loss. Next up is drinking enough water. I'm sure you guys have heard like a lot of times you feel hungry and you're really thirsty, so just drink water instead. I actually don't believe that's true. I feel like our bodies are smart enough, and if you feel hungry, you're probably actually hungry for food, and if you feel thirsty, you're probably thirsty for water. I also don't think it's healthy to just chug water if you're hungry for food, because then you're denying your body what it is asking for, which is actual nutrients. So while I don't believe in the common like weight loss water sayings, I guess, I do think it's important to drink water and make an effort to do that because it really helps your energy, at least for me. I do agree that most of us are probably dehydrated unless we do make that conscious effort to drink water, and I have noticed that when I start my day with water and keep it going throughout the day, it really helps me stay more mentally clear and more energized. Usually without fail, if I've really been slacking on drinking water for the day, that's when I really get that like 2-3 o'clock slump where I really just want to lay down and take a nap and just like feel like a pile because I'm not adequately hydrated. When I do make the effort, when I am well hydrated, it's a totally different story. It really helps me stay clear and gives me energy to get all these other things done that I want to do in regards to the whole weight loss goal. Gives me the energy to work out, to get my steps in, to prep my food. If you're wondering how much water you should be drinking, a good rule of thumb that I've heard and that I use and seems to work well is just take your body weight, divide that in half, and that's how many ounces of water you should be drinking. If you weigh 140 pounds, divide that in half, that's 70. You should be aiming for 70 ounces of water. So just get a water bottle you like, figure out how many of those you need to drink throughout the day, and that's your goal and you're good to go. Tip number 6 is to meal plan both your meals and your snacks. This is really, really important because like I said earlier, most of the results that you're gonna see when you're trying to lose weight are gonna come from what you're eating. So this is your number one focus out of all of these things. I never want to spend the day like rummaging around the fridge, wondering what I should make for lunch or what I can have for a snack that's healthy. Every week I will take a little bit of time and I'll meal plan all of our dinners that we're gonna have for the week. Those do change each night for the most part. Sometimes I'll work leftovers in. For lunches, I will choose one thing that I want to have for lunch that week and I'll buy the ingredients to make that. For breakfast, I tend to usually just eat the same like 3 or 4 different things, and those are ingredients that we always have on hand, so I don't really have to think too much about that every week. And for snacks, I love fruit. Fruit is easily my favorite food in the whole wide world, so I always have 2 to 3 different fruit options that I can snack on, along with like a yogurt or a string cheese or some nuts. Usually something that has a little bit of protein and fat that I can pair it with. And this really doesn't have to be complicated or take a whole lot of time. It just does take some forethought before you go grocery shopping so that you know what your plan is for the week and how you're gonna be able to stay on track. My 7th tip is to do 1 treat meal per week, and I like to call it a treat meal and not a cheat meal because that just sounds way too negative. Once a week, I like to just eat whatever the heck I want for a meal. And obviously there are plenty of times when it's not only once a week because there's some kind of event or you're hanging out with somebody and you want to have a fun meal, and that's totally okay. I'm a big fan of flexibility and going with the flow as much as you can while sticking to your goals most of the time. I don't think it should be really rigid because that's not something that's sustainable. But once a week, usually for dinner, my husband and I choose Fridays typically. Sometimes it will be going to get In-N-Out. I think that's what I want tomorrow because tomorrow is Friday. Lately a favorite is nachos, or we'll make a pizza, like whatever. And then I'll have candy for dessert or whatever I want for dessert. Might be ice cream, who knows. I like this because throughout the week when I'm thinking, ooh, I want to eat this or I want to eat that, or those goldfish at Target look delicious, let me get those. I know that I can just hold off because when Friday comes, I'll be able to have my treat meal and it'll be all good and I'll satisfy those cravings. Those are my 7 postpartum weight loss tips that have helped me drop 40 pounds from the time that I was at the very end of my pregnancy to now, which, full disclaimer, it's 11 months later. I did not do this quickly. I think there's a lot of pressure to get back down to your pre-pregnancy weight after you have your baby, just because that's the society we live in. It took you 9 months to gain whatever weight you gained during pregnancy, and you should give yourself 9 months to lose it. That only makes sense, right? So that was my mentality as well. I took my time, I'm content with where I'm at, and I think slow and steady wins the race in not only postpartum weight loss, but regular weight loss as well. I hope you guys found this video helpful today. Thank you so much for coming by to watch. I really appreciate it. If you liked it, don't forget to give it a little thumbs up and consider subscribing if you're new. Have a great day, you guys, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!